It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
5 a.m. I'm up with a crisp Celsius energy drink. Running 12 miles today. Grab a green juice, quick change, and head to work. Meetings, workshops. One more Celsius, no slowing down. Working late, but obviously still meeting the girls for a little dancing. Celsius. Live, fit, go. Grab a cold, refreshing Celsius at your local retailer or locate now at Celsius.com.
Kyle, I'm all for the virtual bunker aesthetic, but I shouldn't be able to see my own breath while we're recording. Are we auditing a podcast or trying to preserve a side of beef?
The ambient temperature is currently 62 degrees Fahrenheit. It is the optimal thermal environment for the server X and ensures the coprocessor maintains a stable clock speed. Any higher and we risk a 3% decrease in analytical efficiency.
Well, my human efficiency is currently at 0 because my fingers are numb. Turn it up 2 degrees or I'm filing a grievance with the Excelsior Brigade. I need to be in peak condition because I am officially calling dibs on the new cruise.
The Navigator of the Seas?
Yes, June 26th, out of LA. This time, the only I do I'm saying is to a Royal Caribbean comp. But wait, before we get to the battle plan, we have to talk about the opening lyrics. TRG went with the late, great Jimmy Buffett today.
It's my job to be different than the rest, and that's enough reason to go for me. It's my job to be better than the best, and that makes the day for me.
I love that song. It's so grounded. And TRG got really personal with the backstory. He was 17, driving home at 2 a.m. after unloading a McDonald's supply truck into a freezer. He just finished a shift on the grill after a day of school and wrestling practice.
A high output schedule. He had approximately 4 hours of sleep remaining before repeating the cycle. He noted that the song motivated him then, and it still functions as a primary motivator now.
He's right, though. This podcast is different. It's not true crime or self-help. It's about seeing the casino for the transactional thing that it is.
Affirmative. Being better than the best requires seeing the math others ignore.
Exactly. Welcome back to the Advantage Playback. I'm Katie, and sitting across from me, currently adjusting a thermostat that I'm not allowed to touch, is the man with the math, the architect himself, Kyle.
The math on the Navigator play is certainly robust. 7 nights on the Mexican Riviera with the taxes and fees only protocol for qualified players. It is a verified value.
It's more than a value, Kyle. It's a vibe. Cabo, Mazatlan, and Ensenada, I've already started a new page in the notebook for the Mexican transaction. But first, we have a massive session to dissect.
Systems are clear. The data for episode 187 is ingested and ready for audit.
Okay, before we dive into the data, can we talk about the seismic shift in the intro? No disclaimer right out of the gate. No shoutouts to the Familia or the squad before we even start. It feels like a bit of history is missing.
I do think TRG is trying to be a bit more precise to open the episode. I have my doubts if he can keep it up. Rambling is part of his brand. But I do appreciate him trying to hook the audience early.
Well, he definitely hooked me. This battle plan for 187 is packed.
Affirmative. The audit for today's session will follow 4 primary tactical vectors. Target 1. The Apprentice Protocols. We are reviewing a coaching call with a new squad member, aspiring apprentice, to discuss tier status versus actual comp value. Target 2. Slot Tactic Optimization. A deep dive into the execution of TRG Slot Tactic El Numero Dos and the resume math. Target 3. Casino Wisdom number 14. Don't tip away your wins. We'll audit a player who recovered a $6,000 deficit only to fail the final transaction at the cage. Target 4. The Valentine's Valuation. A travel report from Seneca Allegheny. We're looking at $50 blackjack mistakes, bad dice rolls, and the mathematical proof that a loss on the felt can still be a win for the bankroll.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Tap the banner or visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
And don't forget the virtual VIP lounge. TRG is talking about Vice Cops, AI-generated music, and a big update on why the Alaska cruise unraveled.
The parameters are set. Let's begin the audit with the apprentice and the reality of the player's resume.
All right, Kyle, let's talk about this coaching call with aspiring apprentice. TRG called it a time warp because the guy is currently on episode 35. Can you imagine? He's listening to the 2020 archives, and he doesn't even know about the hosting program or the new TRG systems yet.
We felt that ourselves when we audited those early episodes. It is a fascinating data point. It proves that the 8 core concepts are evergreen. However, the most critical part of this audit is the clarification of the player resume. TRG was very precise. The casino doesn't necessarily want to comp Bill, the guy who grinds an hour of $10 blackjack every day just to hit diamond status.
Right, because Bill has the status, but his resume is weak. TRG's math was simple. Game X for time Y with wager Z. You can have 0 status, just a gold card, but if you play 5 hours of $75 blackjack, the casino is happily handing you a room comp and a resort credit for your next stay.
Affirmative. The resume is the leverage. The tier is just the decoration. And for the blackjack players out there, TRG's advice on sprinkling in slots was mathematically sound. He noted that 15 minutes on a machine can generate the same resume value or tier points as multiple hours at a blackjack table.
I loved the play-all-day partner strategy too. It's the perfect way to get a spouse on board. They both buy in separately at a $25 craps table, but by splitting the 4-bet system, they both get rated as $50 players.
It doubles the comp generation while maintaining the same bankroll risk. But we have to audit the free play confusion. The apprentice was unsure about slot tactic number 1.
Yeah, TRG had to clarify. You don't spin your wins back through. If you have $25 in free play and your first spin wins 85 cents, you cash out that ticket immediately. You run the free play to 0, but you keep the cash separate.
It is the only way to ensure the house's gift actually reaches the wallet. TRG even mentions he's doing a rewrite of the slot tactics on the website because of this conversation. For those who want the full 90-minute data dump, the video is on the Spotify subscription channel for $3.
$3 for 90 minutes of TRG wisdom? That's a positive EV transaction if I've ever heard one. Okay, students, eyes up. We are auditing Casino Wisdom number 14. Don't tip away your wins. And Kyle, I have my notebook ready because this story was a roller coaster.
It is a study in the intersection of high-level execution and low-level discipline. TRG observed a player at a blackjack table who was down over $6,000. She bought back in for $600.
Which TRG immediately flagged as insane. I mean, trying to 10x your buy-in just to get back to even, that's not a battle plan, that's a prayer.
Statistically, yes. However, the player utilized extreme aggression, pressing $100 bets up to $500 and $600 hands. She hit a pocket of positive variance and actually built a stack of 6 orange chips, a full $6,000 recovery.
She did the impossible. She fought her way back to the summit, and then she jumped off.
Correct. While she was winning, she was tipping the dealers $25 on nearly every hand. If she split a hand with a $400 bet out, she'd drop another green chip for the dealers. TRG's audit suggests she tipped away at least $600 during that run.
So wait, she bought in for $600, was down $6,000, and colored up for $6,000. That means she was still down her original $600 buy-in for the day, plus whatever more than $6,000 she had lost earlier.
Affirmative. She didn't just tip away a win because she wasn't actually winning. She tipped away her break-even point.
TRG said it perfectly. You should tip, but $5 tips for a dealer who knows you're recovering are just fine. Or even a $100 thank you when you color up. Giving away $600 in green chips while you're still in the hole, that is a failure of the transaction.
She treated the dealer as a partner in the win rather than a cost of the business. The house owns the math. She handed them the transaction too.
Kyle, get the compass and the protractor. I am so close to pinning the tail on the dingo.
I assume you are referring to the geographic coordinates of TRG's base of operations.
Exactly. Listen to the data points from this trip. Seneca Allegheny is 3 hours from his house. Last episode, he said he was 8 hours from Atlantic City. If I triangulate a 3-hour radius from Salamanca, New York, and cross-reference it with that 8-hour line from AC, Kyle, the circle is shrinking.
Your triangulation protocol is noted, but don't forget the variables. He also mentioned it is 50% farther than Casino 1 and a bit farther than Casino 2. The logic suggests his home base is in a specific pocket of the Rust Belt.
I'm getting there. But let's talk about the Valentine's valuation. This wasn't just a trip, it was a long game masterclass. He had a top-tier card he didn't even earn through play, but the property is honoring it.
A classic administrative oversight in our favor. That status secured a full spa comp, massage, steam room, salt room, all neutralized as a line item expense.
And then there's Raimundo. The guy hasn't been to Seneca in forever, has 0 comps on his own record, but TRG sends one text to his bosses, the PCH partners, and boom, Raimundo and Tina Taco are comped for the night.
That is the power of the PCH relationship. It proves that the transaction isn't just what happens at the table, it's the network of influence. Raimundo is a verified PCH player. He was on the first blackjack cruise, so his resume travels with him, even if the local database is empty.
It's all about who you know in the inner circle. But Kyle, we have to talk about the smack. TRG walked into a dead casino at noon, felt guilty for making the dealer shuffle, and stayed at a $50 table when he only bought in for a $25 game.
A catastrophic failure of discipline. Concept number 5. He allowed human guilt to override systems logic. He sat down for a chill bourbon session and finished -8 units before the drink even arrived.
He got clobbered. And then the craps table? He went to a $10 table to explore strategies. The dice came to him immediately, and he threw big red twice in about 10 tosses. He was down $100 at a $10 table and didn't know how to fix it.
Because he was chasing the loss in a high-variance environment. However, the recovery was verified. He utilized TRG's slot tactic El Numero Dos on a Panda Wicked wheel machine to claw back some value, then finished the night on an absolute tear with Mrs. TRG at the tables.
They almost wiped out the whole deficit. And they ended the night in the secret bar, the one with the handle on the artwork, sipping Doc Holliday bourbon with a gun-shaped stopper.
The final audit. They lost less than a day's pay but gained 3 days' worth of luxury value. As TRG calculated, if they had done a normal date night locally with a hotel and spa, it would have cost them 3 times as much.
A total casino combat win. The house owned the math on those dice rolls, but TRG definitely owned the Valentine's transaction. Welcome to the most must-listen segment in the galaxy. I've got my feet up and I'm sipping on a blue moon. Kyle, what's that blue slurry you're drinking?
It is a nutrient-dense protein solution, efficient and biologically optimal. I have also engaged the virtual Blue Kitchen for a high-altitude water harvest.
You are such a nerd. But hey, did you notice the tactical maneuver in the middle of the lounge? TRG actually had me read the compliance disclaimer.
Affirmative. It was a strategic repositioning of the administrative burden to the 42-minute mark to ensure higher initial retention.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a quick favor for TRG. Just a microphone read to keep the show in compliance. No big deal. Kyle, did I sound authoritative? Did I sound like a keeper of the law?
Your vocal frequency was within the acceptable parameters for legal warnings. However, we must audit the vice cops. TRG revealed that MailChimp and Constant Contact banned him simply for the vice of teaching smart gambling.
It's total bias. So he launched the Substack, a secure data tunnel straight to the squad's inbox. No social media noise, just FRED-level intel.
It's a necessary fortification of the communication infrastructure, especially given the Alaska attrition. The ship coming out of dry dock lost its craps table, which caused the cabin block to unravel.
But the recovery is huge. June 26, 2026, the Mexican Riviera on the Navigator of the Seas. I'm already looking at boots in Ensenada.
Focus, Katie. There was one final anomaly, a hidden Marvel-style post-credit scene. TRG dropped a bonus segment after the Casino Combat Blues, specifically for the listeners who stay until the audio actually stops.
I love a good Easter egg. It proves that in this squad, the best intel is always found by those who stay out of the noise.
The engine is stable and the logic is verified. We've audited the resume, the recovery, and the Riviera. As the great one always says, the house owns the math, we own the transaction.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit your state's specific helpline. This content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.
2026 Volcanic Dingo LLC. All rights reserved. Execute the plan. Trust the core concepts. Stay out of the noise. And always spell concepts with a K.
I hope you understand. He was born a rambling man. Goodbye, everyone.